I just watched all 3 of the Avatar films, and I plan on playing the Avatar games. No, not that one. This one. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Anyway, as I started exploring the Avatar community, I noticed there are running jokes between Na'vi supporters and the RDA supporters. And even though it's mostly just humor, it got me thinking about the bigger meanings of the story, and who the real villains actually are. A lot of people tend to group the RDA and humanity together as the same thing. In this video, I'm going to explain why I think the RDA are the true villains of Avatar, not humanity. As stated by General Admore, Earth is dying, and the RDA frames its mission as nothing less than making Pandora the new home for humanity. And when you're backed into a corner with nowhere to run, who shows up promising safety in a future? The RDA. Who else were the people supposed to choose, especially if they promise to ensure humanity's survival? But here's where the series makes its real argument. The RDA's humanity narrative functions as a costume to hide their true intentions. In the first film, the resource that justified everything was unobtainium. It's described as a high-temperature superconductor and the backbone of Earth's economy, with the single kilogram selling for 20 million. And Selfridge's own words to Grace tore this costume apart. He calls out that price point that explicitly frames it as the reason the whole operation exists.
This is why we're here. Unobtainium. Gray rock sells for 20 million a kilo. That's the only reason. It's what pays for the whole party. It's what pays for your science.
Even if unobtainium has real applications, the narrative makes the RDA's prime directive unmistakable. Revenue first, humanity is the wrapper, not the motive. And the pattern only intensifies when Amrita enters the picture. The description is clear. A single vial fetches more than 80 million. That price point reads as elite access, not species-wide salvation. And it reinforces the theme that the RDA monetizes desperation. This is also why humanity vs. Na'vi is an incomplete frame. Across the movies, some humans side with the Na'vi or break from the RDA's agenda, people like Trudy, Norman, Max, because the story is not arguing that humans are inherently the enemy, it's arguing that a specific institution, with a monopoly power and a profit mandate, is willing to burn worlds to meet targets. When I discuss what Earth's citizens are told, I'm not claiming a specific secret memo that we never see on screen. I'm pointing to a demonstrated pattern. The RDA maintains a front-of-the-house story, while its actions tell the real one. Even expanded canon material openly uses the language of RDA propaganda, and that matters, because propaganda is how you keep the public emotionally aligned with decisions they'd recoil from if shown. And that's why Trudy's moments land so hard.
I didn't sign up for this shit! Rogue One is hit. I'm going in.
At the end of the day, it was never a clean humanity versus Pandora war. It's the RDA's greed and expansion project versus Pandora, while ordinary humans, both on Pandora and back on Earth, become collateral, recruited, managed, and marketed as if they're the mission, when they're really just the means. In Avatar, we're introduced to Jake Sully, an ex-Marine who gets pulled into the RDA's Avatar program after his twin brother is killed. And not long after, we meet Colonel Miles Quaritch, a Force Recon Marine turned corporate security operator who runs the RDA's SecOps on Pandora. Different personalities, different experience, but the same pipeline. Soldiers built for a chain of command, not working under the RDA's thumb. At first, Jake generally wants to make it work. He wants to do his job, earn Quaritch's respect, and prove he belongs there. And over time, the relationship almost starts to feel like a twisted father-son dynamic.
But you report to me. Do you do that for me, son?
Oh, yeah, sir.
Well, all right.
Quaritch becomes the guy backing him, boosting him up, promising him a future. He even dangles the idea of Jake getting new legs when he goes home to Earth. It's not kindness, it's leverage. It's how the RDA keeps people loyal without ever saying you're disposable. You might be asking, what does this have to do with the RDA versus the Na'vi? It matters because Jake starts where Quaritch is, inside the RDA's worldview. But when Jake actually lives with the Na'vi, the worldview starts to crack. He realizes the Na'vi aren't just hostiles or locals or obstacles. They have families, communities, homes, roles, and a spiritual relationship with their land. They're not the enemy, they're people. And the only reason they're in the way is because the RDA decided their home sits on top of something valuable. That's when the manipulation becomes clear. The RDA doesn't send Jake in to understand the Na'vi for their sake. They send him in to win trust, gather intel, and make relocation easier. When Jake realizes what that diplomacy is really for, he turns his back on the RDA and, by extension, on Quaritch. Quaritch takes it personally because to him it's personal.
Hey, Sully. How's it feel to betray your own race? You think you're one of them? Time to wake up.
Jake didn't just switch sides, he broke the chain of command and embarrassed the entire machine in front of everybody. And that's why Quaritch becomes such a perfect example of what the RDA does to people. He's killed in the first film in his final confrontation with Jake and Natiri, but the RDA doesn't let him rest. They bring him back as a recombatant, his identity and memories uploaded from a soul drive into a new body, and they give him one primary mission: hunt down and eliminate Jake Sully.
Our mission is to hunt down and kill the leader of the Na'vi insurgency, the one they call Toruk Makto, Jake Sully.
Even the way the leadership treats him signals what he is now to them. Not a man, not a marine, not a person with a life, an asset. General Admore is the RDA's on-world commander during the push to retake Pandora and make it humanity's new home. And in that hierarchy, Quaritch isn't a colleague, he's a tool they point at a problem. Quaritch isn't fighting because he loves the RDA, he fights because in his mind he's fighting for human survival. That's what makes it tragic. The RDA's Green and Expansion project gets to wear the face of humanity, and guys like Quaritch become the muscle for it. Meanwhile, Jake is proof that a human can step out of that story once he sees the truth up close. So no, this isn't Jake good, Quaritch evil. One man breaks the chain while the other is still inside the chain, still trying to be a soldier while the RDA keeps using him like a disposable weapon. And that circles back to chapter 1. The real conflict isn't humanity versus Pandora, it's the RDA's machine versus Pandora, with humans caught inside it until they decide to walk out. The movies are direct in what they show and what they're telling us. The RDA is torching, destroying, and manipulating Pandora for financial gain, not preservation, the same kind of behavior that already ruined Earth. Avatar is a warning that the politicians and corporations who preach human safety and advancement don't actually care about people if it doesn't align with their profits. We also see the RDA's propaganda at work, painting Jake solely as a traitor to the human race, while conveniently avoiding what they're actually doing to Pandora and its inhabitants. And with the series reportedly taking us to Earth in Avatar 4 or 5, I suspect we'll see a world that looks like a split between something like Cyberpunk 2077's Night City and the Badlands, either hyper-advanced or half-abandoned, but still buried under the same trash, inequality, and systemic problems the RDA is bringing to Pandora. Humanity is being lied to by the RDA, and I think the next 2 films will show the company's true colors even more clearly. Even Quaritch was considered digging into Sully's memories while he had him captured in Avatar 3. I also think the final 2 films will push toward the collapse of the RDA through a combined effort between the Na'vi and the humans, possibly suggesting that humanity can return to a more balanced relationship with nature instead of doubling down on an urban, corporate-controlled civilization. In the end, Avatar is a look on how our real world is being negatively impacted by corporations and greedy politicians. Jake Sully is someone who was once under the government's thumb, but he starts to recognize the lies and deception that ultimately chooses to help the Na'vi. Quaritch is the opposite, though I still see the potential for him to help Jake more than kill him. His drive is just more personal, rooted in revenge. In Avatar, humanity is being manipulated by corporations that don't care about people, and hopefully that becomes impossible to ignore as the movies progress. Remember, it's not humanity's fault. It's the RDA and the people in power who enable them.